Hey, this is Ellie Mae with Swift Creek Customs, and this is take 3. First one, microphone problems. Second one, I guess I forgot to hit record. Video recording is not my expertise. I am a crafter. I like to play with the machines. Making the videos is just an extra because I want to share that information with you. Check out the description below for additional links on the series that I am releasing about loading your cutting mat, loading your materials, and this video is going to be about the blade specifically and how we can get that set up for you. Now, this is going to be a little bit different. Like I've said a few times, you're going to hear that over and over. I want you to understand this machine is different than what us as crafters are used to. This machine loads different. This machine cuts towards the front. This machine has a different style blade. Learning is going to take time. Don't get frustrated. You are learning a new machine and a new technique. Nobody gets to be an expert overnight. So it's going to take some time. So far, I am impressed. I've been playing with Juliet for 2 days, so I'm not an expert at it whatsoever. But I did get some new insight when I was in some training with the Siser rep, Patrick, and I had some of my questions answered. So I want to share that information with you. I've set my blade once. It has been perfect. It has been cutting, and I'm going to share that with you. So in your box, you do get a little set of blades. This is your blade housing, the red part. It's much like a CB09 style blade. So if you want to know what materials the different blade degrees cut, you could search for information on that to get started. I am going to use my 45-degree blades are for thinner materials. So 2 of those, the red caps, are your 45-degree blades, and your blue cap is your 60-degree blade. That is for a little bit thicker materials. So I have my 45-degree blade installed in here. I'm going to switch my cameras around to try to give you a closer up look on how I set that blade depth and how I use this blade. So let's go ahead and let's take a look. So I'm going to try to give you this closer up look. Now, I will just say right off the bat, this is a small blade. So filming with my iPad, it might be able to give you a closer view. But what you're first going to start, I'm going to take this out. So you have these blades here in this little thing. And this actually gave me more troubles trying to open it than anything. You have 3 different styles. The red cap, which I already have out, is a 45-degree blade. Then you have your 60-degree, which is your blue cap. I'm just going to keep them in here, and I put this back in there. I keep the caps so when I have to dispose of a blade, I can just cap the top of that blade so it's not sharp or poking anybody. But this is your blade. Let me see if I can get it in here and not cut myself. This is the blade. This is your sharp end. Has a swivel edge on it, and then this end is the end that goes into your housing. So you have a couple pieces on this housing, and I kind of showed some of this in the unboxing video when we were playing around with it. That link is in the description below as well. But you just take the end that did not have the cap on it and you put it into the housing. Just drop it down in there, and it is magnetic. It won't come out. To take it out, you have to push this little button and then carefully take it out. And you want to be careful that you don't cut yourself. It is magnetic, so it's going to take a little bit of force. Now, we'll see if I can get this up on my camera. Oh, that worked pretty good. So do you see that? And I may have it out just a little bit too far. That is how far my blade is out. It's what they say is for this style blade, you want it to be about a credit card thickness out. And this has been working well for me, but looking at it up close like this, it may be just a little bit too far out, and I could retract that some. So how you change this is, I'm going to move my hand over here to try and get this. So you have 2 kind of nuts on here. The brass one loosens it. And then, and I'm going to exaggerate this so you can see it and not cut myself, hopefully. This one is how you extend the blade. So righty-tighty means it comes out. Lefty-loosey, and I have to unscrew that a little bit more. It might come out a little bit. Righty-tighty, it comes out, okay? Lefty-loosey, it goes back in. You do not need much blade length out there. So I am cutting, I'm cutting the Siser HTV, and I will do a demonstration once we get going here. Make sure I got it set again after I show you this. So right now you can't barely see anything. I can barely see something coming out the tip of that. So I'm going to extend that, let it focus again. You can barely see that blade come out, okay? So you can credit cards thickness to start with your test cut. The other way to do it is to hold up your materials. And let me try to do this on camera. So you want your blade depth just shy of the thickness of your material. And since we're using HTV, this is my example. I have heat transfer vinyl, Siser heat transfer vinyl. It does not cut all the way through. So you don't need it extended past the thickness of the material. You just need a little tiny bit extended. And this is going to be very difficult, and test cuts are going to be your best friend. So you can kind of see there, if I move that around, you can see the very tip of my blade. And now that I have it where I want it, I'm going to screw the brass lock down, righty-tighty. And then you have your blade is set. Be very careful handling this end. This is very important on your blade. It's going to be how it's locked into the machine. So I'm going to move the machine over here and do a close-up on that. So give me just a second. See if we can get in here closer on the housing. Maybe a little bit dark here. Try to move some light in. Doesn't really help much. Oh, that's a little bit better. Okay, so we have our blade. On the front, you see there's two parts here. You have your silver knob and you have your locking clip here. It wiggles. You can see that wiggle. First, I want to say, and we said this in our unboxing, this is a hand tighten only. You do not need tools to tighten this blade, and you do not want to over tighten it with any tools besides your hand. It does not need to be really snugged down. It just needs to be tight, finger tight. Same thing with this little knob. You do not use tools to tighten it. You just use your fingers. So you have this knob, lefty-loosey, unscrews it. I haven't tested it and I don't want to, but if you loosen it too much, I'm guessing that it comes all the way out. I don't want to do that right now. But this little lip right here is important. It drops in there, no problem. But if this is too close to it, it's going to sit on top of that. So you want to make sure that it drops all the way down in there, and this locking clip holds that in there. So as I screw this back in, there's a little concave section on that locking clip. It's really hard to see in this video because of where it's at. I'm just going to righty-tighty that in there, and then that blade is locked in place. So it doesn't come out, but you want to make sure that the lip, and I will try here to get a closer view. I'm not sure I'll be able to. Let me try to change the machine around here. So we'll see here. You need to make sure that lip is all the way down on that housing. It goes under this locking clip here. So you want to make sure that it's in properly before you tighten that. Finger tighten only again. Okay, so now let's zoom back a little bit. Get my hand out of the way. And let's just do a quick test cut. I cover the test cut in the loading the mat. So I have the links in the description below on that. So I flip the load lever down, kind of get a bonus in here, I guess. Again, this is completely different than your crafting machine. I'm gonna load my vinyl in here. I kind of like it. personally. And then I'm going to flip the lever up in the back, and then wherever my blade is, I actually have to, oh, she was on, she was just asleep. That's my bad. We're gonna wake her back up. The screen goes to sleep. I didn't even think about it. I should have known because the lights were on. All kinds of things happen when you're recording, especially when you're recording for the third or fourth time. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move this housing, or I'm moving the vinyl in, and wherever I leave that blade, that's where it's gonna start that cut. So I'm gonna cross my fingers and I'm gonna hit, let's try this, just that little test cut. And let's see, since I adjusted that blade and showed you on camera, let's see how it did. And it's still cut beautifully. Beautiful. Again, you don't need that blade out that much, okay? And I say K like you're gonna answer me on my live video, or that I'm not live on. If you have questions, put those down in the comment section below and I will get those answered. If I don't know the answer, I will definitely find it out for you. I'm having fun with this, and I'm going to switch over my camera view here in a second so you can actually see my face. Okay, so I'm going to flip this down just so you can see it just a little bit. We talked about this blade. I'll go ahead and pull it out for you. Again, I'm learning right along with you. I have used this before in other cutting machines, but it's been like 10 years. So, you know, it's going to be new. And I really want you to feel comfortable with it before you start doing jobs that are large and big and the material's going all over. So the beginning basics for getting started with Siser Juliet, I feel, are very, very important. You are going to be the one who is using this machine. You are going to be the one that's setting the blade depth. You are going to be the one that's loading the material. It is different if you are coming from the crafter side of the things. Now, check out the links in the description below. Make sure to like and subscribe for future content. I'm hoping to not just show you all of the setup or all of how you can make Juliet work for you, but also just inspire you with projects. I want to get back to being crafty and creative again, and that's why my husband and I have created this Swift Creek Customs channel. So I hope you will join us, and he's not here today, so we'll just pretend he's right here. Join us in our journey as we create and we try to share that, hopefully to inspire others to be crafty and to create too. Thank you. Have a great day.